Hello everybody and welcome back to another drawing tutorial. This is one I have been promising for some time. My name is Jay Sheik. I'm a comic book artist and art professor, and today I want to talk to you about how to draw Transformers. Now, like a lot of things that I make drawing tutorials about, this is a loaded topic, so this one is going to be very quick and dirty, as much as I can fit into 3 minutes. But a couple of prereqs. You will need some familiarity with 3D geometry, and you will need some familiarity with gesture drawing. We're going to be working general to specific, so are you ready? All right, let's roll out. So I'm going to kick things off by talking about 3D geometry first, specifically cubes and rectangular prisms. Not necessarily something like these see-through cubes you would have drawn on your binder paper as a kid, something a little bit more like a cereal box, and something that we can begin grafting other cubes and different shapes onto, or excising cavities to create openings or interesting features in the overall geometry of the forms that we're drawing. The other one we're going to do a lot are going to be chamfered or beveled edges. You see these a lot on transformer legs that are built very much like deck struts, where I've got this rectangular prism kind of nested into this almost pyramid shape. And then on top of that, I'm beginning to graft on other geometric shapes that we'll talk about present. Transformers, or more generically mechs, are entirely mechanical, duh. Ergo, they are predominantly or exclusively geometric versus organic. So working on your lexicon of 3D forms will better prepare you for what you're going to encounter when you're drawing these kinds of figures. So prisms, pyramids and wedges, cylinders and cones, and then anything that has to do with spheres, domes, when you're drawing headlights or wheels, those kinds of things. These are all very good to practice. Now, gesture is where things start getting a little bit more loaded, and this is where we should always be practicing gesture drawing in our sketchbooks, and use reference when and wherever necessary. Now, I'm laying in this gesture that is little more than a stick figure, as you can see here, and I'm working general to specific, as I've said. And what I'm really going to do is start threading on these rectangular prisms, very much like I'm putting beads on a string. You see this transformer starting to come into form here. I'm using those deck strut shapes to create the legs. It isn't exactly a transformer yet, but you can see how the 3D geometry that I'm threading onto this stick figure is mimicking the gesture that I had captured in that particular figure. And once I have that geometry blocked in, I can circle back and start adding in some of those other sorts of features that are going to make it look more like a transformer than a cereal box person. I am in the process of making some longer form masterclasses on these things, but this was very quick and dirty to fit the 3-minute time slot. There's lots more to talk about, so please see my previous tutorials on gesture drawing and foreshortening. Start with gesture first, work general to specific, thread those simple geometric shapes on, and add those details last, and be sure to have fun while you're doing it.